right on into Just Talking, and we are beyond stoked because we got the mesmerizing female artist Zoa with us. She's zooming on in, so why don't you come on in and join us right now? How you doing, fam?
Hi.
How's
Hi,
it going?
Zoa.
Good,
So
how are
for,
you?
so for all the viewers who have no idea who Zoa is, could you just give us a quick background on who you are?
I'm Zoa Seo, and I'm from South Korea. I put out my EP last year, and I was gigging a lot, but now I've been stuck in my room.
And how are you keeping
Our month-
yourself preoccupied? Because I can only imagine as a musician like yourself, who was actually getting quite a lot of gigs just as recently, and now COVID-19 is just making everything difficult for a musician. So how are you keeping yourself active during these times?
Well, I try to write more songs, but it's hard to write song every day for like 2 months, you know? So I started learning something new that I haven't been able to because I was like working and gigging, practicing. Like I'm learning Spanish.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
my
know. I
roommate-
just wasn't expecting that because I see you as this K-pop star. So you kind of threw me off when you were like, I'm learning Spanish in my music.
I know.
Why
I
so?
should learn English more.
Well, what intrigues you about Spanish language that you want to implement it into your music?
I love reggaeton, and
Oh, okay.
I wanna sing reggaeton someday. And most of my friends, like musicians friends, are from Latin America. Like my roommates from Ecuador, and so I've been so out for the Spanish culture. And I started watching a show on Netflix, and it got me so into that culture. So I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna be master of Spanish during the COVID-19.
And what was this
Zoa.
Netflix show?
Oh,
It's
good.
La Casa de Papel, Money Heist.
Okay.
Yeah, I should learn English more. I don't
Okay,
know.
so what, Zoa? You're learning English. You're just jumping into Spanish. What
Mhm.
language have you found is easier to learn so far, English or
Ooh.
Spanish?
Spanish. No,
I was gonna say really
Spanish,
Spanish because it's
Spanish?
always like the last with syllabi that's like always throws you off because it's always like,
that's
tango.
true.
Or,
Yeah, and I don't know what's like the female word and what's like, but
right. The O's and
Spanish.
A's. That's about all I remember.
Yeah,
3 years of Spanish didn't really do Chris Collins that well, all right? Maybe I need to go down the same route and do exactly the same steps that you are doing so I can bring some Latin vibe into
true.
because I'm trying to learn Spanish too, and I've fallen off.
Oh, that's cool.
So I have the Rosetta Stone that I need to set up still, but what program are you using to learn Spanish, or are you just watching Telemundo?
Because I'm using Korean website.
Mm.
Oh.
So they explain it in Korean. Sorry.
No, I mean, that's cool. At least you have there's all these different routes, right? I mean, we're so generic. I mean, Marissa and I, we're like basic white girls over here. We're like, are you using Hooked on Phonics? Is that what you're using? Is that how you're learning your Spanish?
But Duolingo is really cool. Duolingo,
Yeah.
the app. Yeah.
I have the app, and then I was wondering about Babbel. I was hoping maybe you were doing that.
Oh,
Or invested
I
in
never
Babbel.
heard of it.
But I can only
Very
imagine, someone like yourself growing up in South Korea and then moving to Los Angeles. When you lived in South Korea, for example, how did the people in Korea view, Los Angeles? Because, us in LA, about the only thing we think about is North Korea. We know that you have a neutral borderline. We know that you guys don't get along. It feels like it's a scary
Unless
place.
it's K-pop.
Yeah, unless
K-pop's like South Korea, like K-pop.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just known as a scary place that we got the people in the South. Winter's coming, right? It's like Game of Thrones theme. How is it like viewing Los Angeles from your hometown?
Land of opportunities, much cultures, more diverse music, not only music, art, and a lot of people from all over the world.
Did you find yourself coming to Los Angeles maybe disappointed, or was there something that stuck out that shocked the hell out of you?
When I first got here, I was actually disappointed.
Oh, tell me so. Explain more.
Because I was like, LA is so like beautiful, like sunny. I mean, it's sunny, but I got to the Hollywood star signs. What is it called?
Yeah,
Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's just it. Only the street. That's it. I was like,
So you're
but the
telling me
weather,
South
I
Korea
love
is more beautiful than Hollywood?
it.
Be
Then
honest.
Hollywood, yes. Then Hollywood, yes. But then Los Angeles, no.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
And
all the beaches and downtown. I love downtown.
yeah, and I wanted to ask you that too, because when you were just mentioning now, you know, the biggest difference you noticed, or at least from your hometown, you were like more diverse range of music.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we know, we think of South Korea, North Korea, K-pop, right? Where do
Mm-hmm.
you go to find that K-pop scene? Because I have no idea where it's at in Los Angeles.
I believe they have like big K-pop show every year. I don't know about this year, but
Yeah, right.
and they bring all the famous singers, and then yeah, K-town.
K-Town. I mean,
What's your favorite type of music?
Type of music. I love neo soul R&B.
R&B.
I'm not really into K-pop though.
why so? Is it because you've just been invested in it all your life? Like, are you going to tell me now that you're not a BTS fan? You're kind of speechless. I think that's going against your own country if you said no. Be honest. How you feeling?
When they first came out, I was obsessed with them. But you know when you start like liking some new groups and then they get famous and you lose your interest.
And why do you feel like that's because it got maybe heavily influenced into maybe the US culture? Maybe do you think that maybe inflicted onto the BTS crew?
Well, the big part of the big reason that I'm not really into K-pop also BTS. I love BTS, but the reason is they're so focused on performance, like dancing and how they look, how they wear, how they dress, and some people just become singers when they cannot sing at all, and they get the title as a rapper because they cannot sing. So it happens a lot. So I was like, okay,
So they're
I don't wanna,
misidentifying in K-pop genre who's a rapper. Like if
mostly,
you can't
yeah.
sing, or if you have a deep voice like myself and you can't get those high pitches, I'm
Well,
going to
it's
be considered a
also,
rapper.
and like I said, I mean, that's a big thing about K-pop. It's not so much about the person's talent because they have so much of the industry creating who they are. That's why so many K-pop artists commit suicide, have huge drug issues. I mean, it's yeah, heartbreaking. I know that they have a big production team. So Zoa, like, why are you so hard to find? I was trying to Google you. I'm like searching you, and I found some of your stuff. But it's like you are incognito. I need more Zoa.
Yeah, why
I'll
so?
try.
You live such a lucrative lifestyle, and is that sort of something that is a South Korean kind of thing where you've always kind of kept it,
Hiding.
the privacy hiding?
Well, maybe I'm not that famous yet.
No, no, you're gonna get there. You're really phenomenal. I cannot
I'll
wait to
work
play
hard,
your
yeah.
music during Strike a Chord. But no, I think that what Marissa's saying is sort of a fair question. It's like, especially in LA, right? It's always like, especially like radio DJs like Marissa and I, like everybody always likes to put a face to that voice nowadays. I feel like video on-air productions are the new thing now. And why do you feel like, is it just because maybe you just got into music just recently? Because I know you just pursued music in 2019, right?
Yeah. I think I'm trying to do more geek stuff first. So like stranger people can know me, can listen to my song and like maybe search on Instagram or Spotify. Then like more magazines, interview. I just started interviews and magazines with Jackie.
Nice.
And I've done like a couple of them. Yeah.
Well, let me
But
tell
I'm
you this,
trying.
because I saw that this morning. There's a leaked report that Live Nation's president was in an investors call last Thursday, literally yesterday. And supposedly they are planning to have crowdless and drive-in concerts. Zoa, would you do a drive-in concert if someone hit you up and said, I got you booked at the Tiki Drive-In at Montclair, California? Would you play?
So I'm just looking at all the cars.
Yeah.
I cannot even see their faces.
Well, you could say that the music got played on the radio, but like, it sounds like a terrible idea in my opinion. Would you be in for that ride, or are you kind of on the movement of like, I want to wait for this coronavirus to sort of pan down so I could feel safe to be back on that stage?
I'll wait a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about California going into phase 2? I mean, honestly, I don't know how Marissa felt, but I know I've been speaking.
Wait. What is phase 2?
Well, phase 2 is now.
I haven't seen any difference.
Well, you know what, Marissa? That's funny. Well, for all the listeners who are out of the state of California, phase 2 is now moving into opening up some of the beaches, opening up some of the parks. Some of the LA counties can now open up some of their barbershops with, some strict ruling. I always thought that California was going to be the second to last state with New York to go into phase 2, just because of our highly dense populated community. What are your thoughts on us moving so fast in the state of California?
I personally think the lockdown thing should be staying longer, at least like a month or 2 months more. People will go so crazy and it will get worse. Like people will go to the mountains and beach everywhere, and then I don't know. I'm still
it's crazy,
afraid.
right? I mean, I feel like there's just so little information that we always know, and we're in the middle of the, first time in modern history where all 50 states simultaneously shut down all at the same time, and we're only about 5 weeks into it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a tricky situation. I know everybody's eager because I don't know how you are. How are you getting by to get an income during these wild times? Because obviously you're not doing gigs, you can't be on the stage. Have you become an essential worker? Have you been? Are you in that struggle right now with some of the other musicians who have had to apply for the UI, which is the unemployment insurance? Are you dealing with any of those crazy things?
I was actually gonna start my OPT, which is I can work here legally besides school, but I have to get a job as a musician, and I thought it would be impossible during this time. So I'm gonna take little more classes at school so that I can extend my student visa.
Have you ever?
How are you handling your online courses as a college student? Because I'm dying as a college professor. I'm doing more work. No, I'm doing so much more work, and I even cut the work down for my students. Like, it's kind of insane. So how are you handling it as a college student? Because I'm going crazy.
I only need to take general education, so I'm actually fine. But most of my friends are taking semester break. Because like vocal singers, actually we can make noise everywhere, like at my room or in their living room. But like drummers, guitar players, they need somewhere to practice with the gears. They're going crazy. They're taking, because they don't want to waste money when they cannot use school things, facility.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why the college refunds are intensifying throughout the whole nation. You know what? This is really scary too, because actually reported this morning was today, we actually just beat a world record, or actually a nation record. We have the worst unemployment rate since the Great Depression, reported today. And for a musician like yourself, this has got to be very scary, because there's been a lot of reports recently that musicians are filing for the UI, and when they thought they'd get the full benefit in California, which is, the $450 a week, a lot of them are only getting $77. And so when you are someone who is an international student who's coming into Los Angeles, are you starting to think of doing what other musicians are doing? Because I saw a metal band, Bad Omens, actually start participating in virtual concerts, setting them up live in their living rooms and then selling tickets for like $10. Do you think that's a reality for yourself, or do you think that's a little to the extreme? I mean, you were like, whoa, you're like, do you think people would give into that, or?
don't I have to meet my band members to do the virtual live though?
That's a very good point. Not everybody has, I guess, Jimmy Fallon, right? And he gets to bring the whole band on on Zoom, and then everybody's got perfect audio quality, right? Maybe it would have to be a
True.
solo performance. It's crazy. I like, but that's why I'm asking you, because I don't have any answers. I'm like totally speechless. How are you gonna get by?
Well, for now, I will just focus on making music. That's the safest things I can do as a musician, you know?
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
just to sort of switch gears, I mean, you are an artist at the age of 22, correct? 22 or 23?
Yeah. 22.
22.
Yeah.
And which is incredible. And you just said you just recently got into music in 2019 because were you forced? I mean, what was that deal? I mean, why did it come so now? And why is this new pursuit? Because obviously I don't think you going into LA was to do music first in general, right?
It was for music.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah.
that.
But I wasn't into writing music at all, like till like 2018. I just wanted to be like cover singer, you know, just
Yeah.
or like I wanted to teach some students, but also I wanted to stay in LA after I graduated because I love it here. The music industry here is like bigger and like beautiful. And then my friend told me, if you want to stay here, you gotta put out your music, and that you need to start your career as soon as possible before you graduate. So I was like, I was kind of forced. True. I was like, okay, let me start. And then like my friends helped me just stay here.
get you honed in and get you focused,
Yeah.
right? But I think that's
Yeah.
cool that you're being introduced to new music, because I've never heard of a K-pop little Spanish mix going on, and that only got me really excited. And hopefully when you get that music produced, please send it our way so the rest of the listeners and viewers get to have that treat for themselves, because that sounds incredible.
And where can all of our listeners find you?
Instagram is where I'm most activate.
Okay, and what's your Instagram handler? What is it?
Zoa Music Official.
Okay.
And I have website zoaseo.com, ZOASEO.com.
Perfect.
Spotify, yeah.
Yeah, Spotify and
Thank
Apple
you.
Music all over the place. And you're on Amazon.com. Purchase the EP,
Yeah.
support the artist. And you know what? I love
you
this.
can also after the show, find her on the chriscollinsshow.com. And if you sign up and become a member, you will get a free CCS t-shirt.
That's right. It looks almost, you can't even see my face. Here, look it. I'll do it on my end. Here you go, fam. Look it.
Yeah.
You can get that CCS t-shirt. You know what's good, listeners. Yeah, there we go. What's good? I love these shirts. What's good? I'm Chris Collins. For more updates on the future of our generation, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out thechriscollinsshow.com. Peace.